Ladies and gentlemen, in the following I shall deal with Europe. My Europe, your Europe, and our Europe. But how does Europe look like, and how will Europe look like in our future? Will Europe still exist in the next 20 or 30 years? This isn't sure because Europe is facing an existential problem at the moment. It seems like Europe hasn't had such many problems and difficulties since its foundation as it has today. That's the reason why we have to find a solution pretty fast. How does this solution look like? Undoubtedly, every nation and every single one of us has its and his own idea. Suggestions? Europe needs an opposition. Europe needs new laws. Europe has to solve problems more in the specific regions than in Brussels. At the first sight, these suggestions haven't got anything in common, but if we look at it closer, we can see that it's all about Europe and its system. Is this the right way to solve problems? Europe's problems? Why don't we try to solve the problems at their source and those who have to deal with these problems? Us. Maybe there are some question marks here. I could change something important like this, so much that it reached to Brussels? Basically, all we have to do is having and showing respect to everybody. The people should have respect for the politicians and through this trust them. But also the politicians should have respect for their people. This shows that they are interested in their opinions and try to represent them and make the best of them. Having respect for the members of the European Union is also very important. Politicians as well as the people. There were many summits in the past where it was obvious that there were nations who didn't get the chance for being listened by the others or that their suggestions won't be taken serious. This brings me to my next point. In many talk shows, it's conspicuous that the moderator is partisan, and if there is a guest with another opinion as the moderator doesn't let the audience applaud for him. If there is a guest speaking who has got the same opinion as the moderator makes an extra long pause for letting applaud the audience. But is this really what we like? Also, the people of the European Union aren't open enough in front of the others. The result of this is that we restrict ourselves and let our diversity change into a one-versity. But isn't our diversity the strength of Europe? This tiny special thing that makes us unique? The reason why so many people think that Europe has got better life conditions than any other place? Our problem is that we are so distracted from all these political debates that we don't realize what really matters. Having and showing respect for all. Being open for new, showing interest to the others and not judging and evaluating the other members and people all the time. We have to try to be responsive to suggestions and ideas from others and not just think that our own idea is the greatest. Although this wouldn't solve all the big and huge problems, it would help us to reface Europe from the bottom and give stability. In addition to this point, I want to stress that all bigger problems are created by smaller ones, who end up in one big problem. If we reduce these smaller ones, and we can do that with help of respect, we could prohibit many big problems for our future. Furthermore, we should pay more attention to the needs and requirements of the other members. It's not a good idea to force every nation to do the same as the others. It's much more important to support and demand the strength of each member. In the European Union, there is enough evidence from the past that it creates more problems if we all try to do the same things and laws, because this is the reason why our diversity gets smaller or totally destroyed. Especially for the youth, Europe is very important, as we can see, for example, the Brexit and many studies. And it's our duty to preserve projects and exchanges for teenagers and kids. It's important to show the other generations and people that we need Europe, but Europe needs us too. This desire may be a bit naive, but isn't it our request to preserve Europe for the next generations? And aren't other wishes and desires naive too? For example, the suggestion to introduce an opposition in the EU isn't a good idea because Europe is too weak for such a big change. Together thinking and acting with our diversity and respect, this is what Europe needs right now. We have to support respect and freedom for preserving Europe for the next generations. Thank you for your attention.